that, Jennifer. So before we get started with the class itself, I do want to go back a little bit and say thank you so much to Matt and Suzanne and Shantae, not only for the off-the-chart presentation that they gave us yesterday, but for what I know is coming today. You guys are making such a big difference in this world to so many people, and I want you to know how much I appreciate you being here for my team and how much my team appreciates you because they let me know. So thank you for that. Okay, so back to mindset. I'm going to introduce to you something called the candle concept, and I'm going to switch over, share my screen and switch over to my PowerPoint, but I want to tell you something. So yesterday, I've never presented a PowerPoint on Zoom before. When you do that, all your faces go away. So I don't feel like I'm talking to you. I literally feel like I'm talking to myself, which feels dumb. And so I've taped pictures of my sisters on top of my laptop so that I'm not looking at my PowerPoint, and it will help me look at the camera so that I feel like I'm looking at you. Okay, so little tricks to know as you yourself begin having classes and trainings on Zoom. So I'm going to switch over now to PowerPoint, and we'll see what this looks like. Okay, so can you all see like a yellowish orange screen that says mindset yourself was born to create? Ken, is everybody nodding their head? I can see Ken, and Ken says you are. Okay, this is great.
Yep, we can see it.
Oh, wonderful, thank you. So, the mindset that you come into your business with and your life with, some of it isn't true. Some of what you've been told about yourself or taught about yourself or distracted, letting Sam in, they're false beliefs that no longer serve you. So we're going to talk a little bit about yourself, and we're going to talk about the candle concept, and I'm going to give you 6 action steps using the word create as an acronym to help you understand how it is you create the life that you are living, or how you create the results you're after in terms of your business. And so we're going to move through this a little bit quicker than I would like to. The presentation that I made this several years ago, and it's much longer than the 20-25 minutes I've given myself here to present to you today. So having removed so much of the content, I hope what you get today still makes sense. So let's go check this out. Why isn't that advancing? Every human being has creative powers. You were born to create. Appreciate your inborn potential. Last year at Christmas, I received a box of gifts from Andy and Natalie Goddard, and in it was a roll of several posters to put up in your doTERRA classes. And each one of the posters has a beautiful picture, and it has a quote on it by one of our upline leaders, all of the, either the founders or the executors or the top guys in doTERRA. So I have one that says from Andy Goddard, "You were born to create," and I've taped it on my wall in my studio. So I just want you to know that part of this is also what Andy Goddard believes. You were born to create. So we all need to pay attention to the creative powers that we were given and gifted with. 6 actions to create the results you desire. I want to make a special note here. The image that you're looking at, that beautiful painting, actually was a 4-foot by 4-foot canvas that a woman at our church painted. She painted the whole creation story. And I think there were 6 or 7 canvases all together. But this was the the one that I thought that would be beautiful for talking about create and creation. So, create your changed beliefs. The first action that you can take when you're building your business, hunting down, or not, when you're trying to create the results that you're after, is to change your beliefs. Old beliefs no longer serve us. They hold us back. So here's where we're going to introduce the candle concept. So I want you to, Ken, can you see this? I'm holding up a little candle so you can all see. Ah, you cannot see the candle itself, right? You're looking at the PowerPoint. So I have a little candle here. I'll just talk you through it. I have a little candle here, and as you all know, a candle has the wick and it has the wax, and sometimes it comes in you know, a little holder. It takes a match to light it in order for the candle to like serve its purpose in life. You need to light the candle. So the match represents something that we're going to talk about, and then the flame of the candle also represents something that we talk about. But I want you to think about, as I am explaining all of this, are you the wick or are you just stuck in the wax? So the wick of the candle is your authentic self. The wax of the candle is all the hard stuff around you. The match is your marvelous, marvelous, brilliant thought. And the flame is your authentic self struck on fire. So let's talk a little bit more about the wick. What do I mean by your authentic self? So if you think about the word yourself, if you say it slow enough, it becomes yourself. Yourself. So you or self. So I want you to consider the you part of that as your physical self. It's your bones and your blood and your hair and your guts and your teeth and your toenails. It's your cells, it's your fibers, it's your ligaments. It's all of the parts of you that you can see. But your authentic self is the invisible parts of you. It's all of the parts you can't see that create your self with a capital S, your spiritual self, your supreme self, your higher self, your soul, your spirit, whatever it is you want to call that aspect of you. That's all the invisible pieces of you that make you you. So some of those would include your thoughts, your ideas, your passions, your talents, your visions, your ambitions, your sense of humor, your sense of panache, your sense of style, your sense of wonder, your sense of color, your sense of imagination, your sense of compassion, caring, and kindness. So it's important to understand that who you are is not just your body. Who you are is the essence of all of the you-ness of you. And that's the invisible part, is the part that we access, that we utilize, that we tap into when we are in the creative process. So sorry, Ken, would you excuse me just a second? Would you look and see if there's any messages here? Do I need to open it first? Like all of you know, I'm here doing this, and so does my family. So it concerns me that my phone is dinging and pinging. There might be something wrong with my grandbaby. At any rate, everything all right? Okay, so back to your authentic self. So understanding the power within you, the powers that you're gifted with, are not the physical pieces of you. They are the invisible pieces of you that come from a place and a power greater than all of us. So that's the wick of the thing. The wax When you think about the wax is all the hard stuff around you. And the wax keeps you rigid. It keeps you stiff. It keeps you held in place. It keeps you stuck. That's what the wax does. And in your life, the wax is represented by financial issues, employment issues, health issues, relationship issues, in-law issues, maybe, parenting issues, car issues. That's not the end, but wait, there's more. School and now homeschool issues, upline issues, downline issues, local issues, lockdown issues, all of these things we're stuck in. Pandemic issues. I don't have time for issues. Your own self-imposed limitation issues. So all of these pieces create the hardness around us that we think we can't overcome. They're very real. They're really out there. But when you draw on the strength of the power within you, there are ways to overcome these things. The match is your creative thought waiting for action. Your simple or simply brilliant thought waiting to be set on fire. So if you could see me, and I am going to do this, I have a little box of matchsticks here, and I am going to strike the match, and I am going to light the wick. Can you see this? There we go. And then, I'm glad you can see that. And then I am going to put it in a safe container known as the infinity. Can you see that? The light just goes on and on and on. Thank you, my sister Heather, who's on this call, for giving me that beautiful votive holder right there. I love it, it's my favorite. So I'm gonna leave that lit throughout this. So the match has now lit the candle, and it represents, in the creative process, your thought. Your thought is also invisible. Your thought is an energy. Science has now proven that thought can be measured, that it actually is a thing. And we way underestimate the power of our thoughts. You know, we have the saying, think positive, not negative thoughts, or just be positive, and it becomes like this old cliche. It's a one-liner nobody ever listens to anymore, but it is so important. Excuse me just a second. It is so important to understand the power of your thought and how that changes things, what you're thinking consciously or even unconsciously. Albert Einstein said, "The intellect has little to do on the road to discovery. There comes a leap in consciousness. Call it intuition or what you will, and the solution comes to you and you don't know how or why." Has that ever happened to you? Like either a brilliant idea or a solution to a problem that you've had for a long time and you just couldn't figure it out, and then you go to sleep and you wake up in the morning and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I think that would work. We've all experienced that, but I want to tell you that is your higher self. That is your inner self trying to communicate with you, trying to speak with you and guide you and help you and answer you. When you send up those prayers, when you put your wants and desires out to the universe, these are the ways that the answers come back. So if you're not aware of that, you're missing it all. And you're missing all of the opportunities to excel and be great and get what you want. So the flame is simply your authentic, when your authentic self ignites desire on fire. You have had times in your life, I don't know all of you on this call, but I know the majority of you on this call, and I can say this with confidence. You know of a time in your life when you have actually felt like on fire, with an idea or a project or helping someone else, and it was just so successful, all of that energy, all of that joy, fulfillment, happy, all of that sense of achievement is all coming from you. You've created that. It's the power within you to make those things happen. And it's important to remember that things are not happening to you, okay? You have control over situations that you're not aware you have control over. So the more you learn about yourself with a capital S, and the more you be still and listen, the more you will come to develop the skill of paying attention when those things come across your path, when they enter your life. When your wick is lit on fire, the flame generates enough heat to melt all the hard stuff around you. You are no longer stuck, rigid, or in the dark. The path to your success is self-empowered and illuminated. Strike the match, light the wick, illuminate yourself. So that is the first action step to take in the 6-action plan to create the results you desire. So in that little snippet, hopefully you've gained a little insight to inspire you to go and pursue understanding yourself by reading self-help books, motivational books, talking to other people, doing all of those things so that you can learn more about that and how you can apply it and create the things that you want more of in your life. Get rid of those old beliefs that no longer serve you and believe in yourself. You know, there's a lot of people that have been diminished because of things their parents told them, myself included. I'll give you an example. When I was I think I was in 9th grade, I saved up all my allowance and started taking art classes at a little tiny private little studio a couple blocks away from our house. So I'd walk down once a week and I'd take my art classes. And my art teacher, I was 9th grade, I don't know, what are you, 13? I don't even know. And my art teacher was very encouraging. I was particularly fond of drawing very detailed things. I could take the slice of an orange and give you every little segment on the inside of that little slice of an orange, but I could not draw a barn. So I was very detail oriented. And I came home after 3 months of art class and flipped open my giant artist book, right? My drawing pad, and was showing my mom my work. And my mother said to me, I don't know why you're wasting your money on art classes. You don't have any talent. And it crushed me. And it stayed with me. And I gave up art and never did another one, never picked it up again. So I changed that belief when I discovered I also loved to write. And I went on to become a #1 best-selling author with Lisa Nichols. So I'm telling you that there is power in understanding why you need to change the old beliefs and get rid of the ones that don't serve you anymore. I don't know, why did I believe my mother? Why do we believe these things about ourselves, right? I have control over my thoughts and I choose not to believe that. So on we go. Realize your power. Excuse me. I want you to consider this. A parrot could be trained to ride a tiny bicycle at the circus, but that same parrot could never be trained to be a brain surgeon. Only man was created with the creative intelligence to do or have or build or achieve or create or become anything his mind can think up. Only the false beliefs we believe convince us otherwise. So, action number 2, realize your power. Number 3, examine your excuses. So as soon as you sort of dip your toe into your own power, your ego, your authentic ego, which is the counterpart of your authentic self, your authentic ego is going to jump in and say, you are not going to go be successful. I want you to stay back here and pay attention to me. I am not going to let you go out there and be successful. So I'm going to sabotage you in every way. Your old false beliefs will try to ambush you. And you all know this. You hear them in your head. You don't want to hear them in your head. You have self-doubt. You get fearful, lack of confidence. Your reasons, your excuses are, I can't do doTERRA right now. The kids are too little. I can't. I don't have enough. I don't know enough. I need more money first. The kids need to get out of the house first. My husband needs to join me first. All of these excuses will ambush your efforts to be successful. Put your ear down to your soul and listen. A way will always be made known to you if you trust the self within yourself. Action number 4, activate your authentic self. So we have talked about what it is, and when you speak it slowly, yourself becomes you or self. So I just want to say here again that this is where you realize who it is on the inside of you that's making these things happen. It's not your physical body. You know, those are our hands and our feet. Those are all instruments that we use to help us accomplish things with. But the decision making, the intelligence of everything is the self of you. Number 5, transform your thoughts. Again, thoughts are energy, and energy is power. So transform the power of your words. Stop saying, I can't, I'm not, I won't. And change it to, I can, I am, I will. If you just sit for a minute and in your mind, imagine that I'm the voice in your head. And I'm telling you, you're never going to do this. You're never going to reach Presidential Diamond. You're not. You don't know enough. You won't take the actions that you need to take. You are not going to be successful. That's one voice. But what if you change the words to, even if you don't yet believe them, your mind doesn't know the difference between the positive and negative energy. It acts on, I didn't say that right. Your mind will act on what you feed it. So if instead you say, although it feels right now like I'm not going to make it to Presidential Diamond, I know I can pick up the phone and invite one person I know to come learn about doTERRA. I am able to have a conversation with my friend and say, how are you doing right now during all this COVID stuff? How are you? How are the people in your home? Everybody all right? What if you said, I will make the actions necessary, take the actions necessary to get to manager, to get to elite. I can, I am, I will. Your body feels differently. The energy those words create change the chemistry on the inside of your body, and it changes your belief system. So when you can start changing your belief system to the positive rather than the negative that doesn't serve you anymore, that's when the magic happens. That's when the universe starts showing up with all kinds of stuff for you. So, last one, expect the outcome you desire. So by that, what I mean is expect the best. Don't waffle on that expectation. So here's a great example of what I mean by that. When you go into a restaurant and you sit down with your family and you sit down at the table and the cute little waitress named Amy, my daughter, comes over and says, "What would you like?" And you say, "I think I'll have a burger, fries, and a shake." She takes everybody's order and off she goes. After she leaves, you know you've ordered a burger, fries, and shakes, right? You don't sit there and say, what if she brings me spaghetti? What if she brings me a chef salad or a tuna fish sandwich or meatloaf? What if? When you set your goals on fire, don't waffle on it. Make your creative vision board. See yourself already having your burger, fries, and shake. You know they're coming. Believe that they're coming. And once you believe on that level and with that intensity of belief, the universe will move heaven and earth to make it happen for you. Lower on the screen, you'll see, wait and watch what the universe starts sending. Coincidences, new people, new opportunities, new happenings. You find money on the ground or in your couch. You'll see bumper stickers that suddenly have absolute relevance to you that you would otherwise have never paid attention to. Even the things that kids will say to you, they'll jar you like, wow, that's a personal God shot giving you the answers that you're looking for, but you have to pay attention when they're coming. You have to be alert and conscious of be aware of them being there for you. The answers will always start coming. And it doesn't matter whether you are thinking about all of the things you want. So whether you're thinking about the things you want or you're feeling the things you don't want, the universe resonates on a vibrational frequency. So you have to actually feel like you've got it in order for the universe to start sending it to you. Because if you stay in the zone of feeling like you don't have it, that's what the universe is going to send you more of and more of and more of. So all of this equates to believing in yourself, believing in the self of you with a capital S. Create your changed beliefs, realize your power, examine your excuses, activate your authentic self, transform your thoughts, and expect the outcome you desire. 6 actions you can take to help you get where you want to go. Stop calling it a dream. It's time to call it a plan. And the last image that I leave you with on my presentation today has a very special place in my heart. My husband shot this image, so I give him 1,000% of the credit for this. But I also want to tell you my ego was bruised because I am the professional photographer in the family. And my husband took this picture out of our bedroom window and it won a local award and was enlarged and framed and hung on display and entered in one of Whatcom County's calendars for the year. So I want to share this with you with a very special message on it. It only takes one light to illuminate the world. Strike the match, light your wick, let it be yours. Thanks for listening to that. I will come back now and stop sharing my screen. There we go. So don't, you'll make me cry. So I hope that you found some value in that. And thank you for the silent applause on my end. Okay, so up next, Matt, you can unmute yourself, hon.
Hi.
Up next is Matt, our one of our resident experts here. and he is going to speak to us all about system skills and leadership. And I'll say that in February, this past, gosh, was it this past February? It feels like all of 2020 has been nothing but COVID. But in February, both Suzanne and Matt came here to Bellingham, as they do every year. For those of you who are new and live in Bellingham, they come every year to do a training for our teams. And so Matt and Shantae presented this particular segment on system skills and leadership. And it was so outrageously awesome that I asked if they would please, you know, compact it, because we have less time here than we did there. But Matt's gonna go ahead and deliver whatever he's gonna deliver. But turn it over to you, Matt. Thank you both. Thank you both for being here.
Wonderful. Thank you for the invitation, and thank you for the teachings to start off our morning. I've got a couple pages of notes here that I took myself, Don Marie, so that was a beautiful analogy. And I'm on fire. My wick is on fire, ready to break through my own personal limitations. And I love that, you know, at every single level, there's going to be new hard things that you get to melt your way through. And I love it. It just reminded me of the saying that ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. You guys heard that? Ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. So sometimes we want to know everything before we take a step. We want to understand everything about the essential oils before we open our mouths to share. Or we want to know everything about the compensation plan before we start placing people in our team. But what I've found is that knowledge, you know, if your only pursuit is to learn, then you don't have the fire, right? You don't have the fire to help. And it's, for me, I've learned in my journey in doTERRA that it's been my movement, an awareness of my limiting beliefs, like you guys learned about today, and then my personal, you know, putting into action, massive action that helps to, you know, melt down that wax. And so I'm excited to share with you a little bit about how you can really experience whatever it is that you want to experience in doTERRA. And I love that in this business, it's both the best thing and sometimes the hardest thing is that we are leaders of a volunteer army, right? We are leaders of a volunteer army. In other words, every single person that you sign up in doTERRA who wants to be a distributor of our products, they can decide what they want to do, and they can decide if they want to do a little bit or if they want to do nothing. And sometimes you see a potential in that volunteer, you know, you see them as like, wow, like this person, they could be a captain in the army and this wellness movement, right? And they, for whatever reason, decide that it's not for them. And so, but it's also the most beautiful thing because each of us can choose our level of play in doTERRA, right? And so I want you guys to know that today I'm probably going to talk in language of big goals because that's just who I am. But I want you to realize that no matter what your goals are, the formula is the same. And so if your goal in doTERRA is, hey, I want to get my products paid for every single month, then the formula is the same as if you want to earn $1,000 a month from doTERRA, or if you want to earn 2,000 or 10,000 or you know, whatever it is that your goal may be. And in my second presentation, I'm going to talk a little bit about the compensation structure, how it works, how to really maximize it, and I'll even break down for you guys. I'll show you month by month our earnings in doTERRA from the very beginning until we hit Presidential Diamond, and show you a graph so you can see exactly what that has looked like. And if it's been worth it or not. I'm not going to share specific numbers for compliance reasons, but I will show you just kind of the graph of the growth and give you some lessons. But I want to start out today by talking about skills, system skills and leadership. In doTERRA, I think most people who are involved in doTERRA from a business perspective, it's because they're seeking some kind of freedom. That's really the goal that most have. It's, hey, you know, I realize that this is a vehicle that I can take where I can separate my earnings from the number of hours I work. I can create leverage. I can create a bigger impact than I could by myself. Time freedom, financial freedom, all of that is available through this business model. Like I mentioned, you get to decide what level of play you want to be at. And so some people They want to go all the way to Presidential Diamond. Some people are very happy at Premier. And so whatever your goal is, I just want you to realize that either way, the formula is the same. If you do want to create, total freedom in the doTERRA business, you have to develop leaders. You have to develop people who are independent of you in their business growth. And one of my favorite things, I guess one of my first tips I'll give you is anytime I sit down with somebody new, I did this with 2 people just yesterday as I sat down with them to give them their first, our first game plan for getting them started in the doTERRA business. And I told them, I said, my goal for you is to help you become independent of me as quickly as possible. Do you agree that that's a good idea? And I recommend that you ask that question to every single person who decides that they want to build a doTERRA business with you. Because what it does is it helps them understand, a lot of times our tendency, the temptation is to take somebody and be like, hey, Marge, I'm going to do everything for you. All you need to do, just come into the doTERRA family. I'm going to build a business. I'm going to put people under you. It's going to be easy, right? And what happens when Marge gets started in the business? She comes in and she's just looking up, right? Waiting for people to fall magically from her upline underneath her, onto her team. And most of you guys know that that's not the way doTERRA works. And so just realize that the more you can be transparent with people and set them up for success in that first conversation and show them this pathway to them becoming an independent leader, that's what's going to help them get there. It's that clarity in the beginning. And so I told these 2 people yesterday, I said, listen, I'm going to do 1 class for you. And then after that 1 class, virtual, now we're doing them all virtually. After I do that 1 class for you and your friends, the 2nd class, I'm going to show up and I'm going to teach half of it for you. And then the 3rd class, you're going to do everything yourself. And I'll be there to support you. And I stick to that model. I hold them to that commitment, because if they're not willing to learn how to be independent quickly, they will not have success, period. And so leadership is how you create freedom. I would not be a Presidential Diamond in doTERRA today if we didn't have strong leadership on our team. 6 people on our front line who they do not need us. If we left doTERRA, if we something bad happened to us and we had to just disappear from the face of the planet or go into hiding or something, our business would continue to grow, because we have 6 people that are very, very independent and they're leaders, right? So the question is, if that's the key to freedom is leadership, how do you develop leaders? And it comes down to first, these 2 steps here. Our first step with anyone that gets started is using systems to help them create a result as fast as possible, while then we teach them skills so that they can up level in their ability to be independent, right? And then they transform into leadership. Now, typically, becoming a leader in doTERRA, what does that mean? That means that you're independent. It means you're a problem solver, not a problem passer, right? So sometimes we all know people who they'll call you up and they want you to fix their problem, but really what they're doing is they're passing the problem on to you for you to try to fix it, right? And then that doesn't really solve much, right? And so people who send me the question, hey, can you send me a price list? Hey, can you send me this at doTERRA, this video? I'll do everything I can to show them how to do it themselves, right? To create that independence and help turn them into a problem solver, not a problem passer. Leaders are consistent. They don't do doTERRA sometimes. They do it either part-time or full-time, right? So you can do doTERRA part-time if you want to build an income with doTERRA, or you can do it full-time, but you cannot do it sometimes. Sometimes will not help you create a result. We've all heard the story of the penny double, right? If you double a penny every day, after 30 days, it's over $5 million. If you double a penny every other day, it's only for 30 days, it's only, I think, $163 or something like that. And so every single day, if you do something small to move your doTERRA business forward, that consistency will compound for you over time. doTERRA is not addition, it's multiplication. Okay, write that down. doTERRA is not addition, it's multiplication. So as an example of this, you could sign up 20 people during a year and you're going to have that determined result. But if you sign up those 20 people in doTERRA in 1 month, then you have 11 months for that result to compound for you and to multiply for you. And that's why the more momentum you can create quickly within a short period of time, the more success you're going to have. Every single year, I follow Eric Worre's recommendation, and I actually do it 2 times a year, where my goal is to personally sign up 20 people into doTERRA within 30 days. And I do that 2 times a month, or 2 times a year. I don't always hit the goal. Sometimes I end up signing up 15, or, and in a typical month, we're signing up about 5 people a month. So that's 4 times our monthly average. But having that, compounding that effort into a compressed period of time, that makes the multiplication happen much, much faster. And so consistency is very, very important. Leaders have big vision, and they create action in other people, right? So leaders will run blitzes, they'll run promotions, they'll help incentivize people and give them ideas for how to be creative, and they'll get people's feet moving. A leader, it's not just their lips that are moving, their feet are moving, right? Because people follow your feet, they don't follow your lips. So you can talk as much as you want, you can tell people what to do as much as you want, but until you are moving your feet, people will not follow you. There's nowhere for them to go. There's nowhere for them to go. So people will follow your feet, not your lips. So that's leadership. But before we get there, obviously most people don't come into doTERRA saying, I want to be a leader, right? The truth is 80% of people come into doTERRA saying, I want to be a customer, right? And then you have maybe another 15% who come in and say, yeah, I'd love to share the products, right? So people don't start here. We develop leaders in doTERRA. We don't find leaders, right? We may find people of influence who in other areas of their life, they have leadership qualities, but we don't find people who are just like, it's born a doTERRA leader, boom, right? Typically leaders are developed. And so that starts with systems. And this is the first kind of pathway tip that I want to give you, is when somebody gets started with you and they say, yeah, I'd love to earn my products for free. Or yeah, I'd love to, have an additional stream of income in my life. I'd love to earn an income with doTERRA. First of all, they'll never say that if you don't invite them to learn about the business, right? So that's the first step, I guess, is saying, hey, I'm involved in a side project where I'm earning an income from home, helping people use natural products to boost their immunity. Would you be open to learning more? Would you be open to learning more? Then the person will say yes or no, right? I'm involved in a project where I'm earning an income from home, introducing people to natural solutions, and earning an income from home. Is that something that would be interesting to you? Would you be open to learn? So the invite, and then once they're involved in building, our goal is to help people get a result as fast as possible. Those who decide that they want to build the doTERRA business, 70% of those people, if they don't have a result within 1 week, they've quit. 70% of people, if they don't have some kind of a result with the business within their first week, they're going to quit. Okay. Now, the good thing about doTERRA is quitting means become a customer for life, right? So we have amazing products and amazing retention. I'm not saying they're going to disappear off the face of the earth, but they will slow their building efforts, their sharing efforts. They will close their mouth if you don't help them get a result within their first week. And so that's where we come to this first step of systems. What I want to do when I get somebody started is I want to make it as easy as possible for them to get a result. Okay. And I'm going to point you, we have limited time here together, but I'm going to point you to a couple ideas for how you could do this. One would be, lately, every single person that I sign up who wants to build doTERRA or share doTERRA or earn an income, I take them through a process called the hot market approach. Okay. Hot market approach. This is an example of a system. I have a video on YouTube. If you just search Matt Hall, hot market approach, a video will pop up that walks you through step by step this approach. And basically what I'm doing is I'm helping the person with a very simple script, send a simple script to their closest friends and family, a very non-pressure, light, easy script that anyone would be comfortable sending to the people who are closest to them to help them get their first sales. Okay, so I recommend, that's an example of a system. I can plug anyone into that video and they'll get a result. I had a guy just a couple weeks ago who I launched. I got him with the hot market approach. This was his first step, and he sold 20 of those little trio packs of lemon, lavender, peppermint. He sold 20 of those in 24 hours, okay, for the retail price. So he got a retail commission that covered the cost of his kit in 24 hours, okay? I had given him a result. And then those 20 people, we invited them to a class so that then they could learn more about the products, learn how to use the products they already purchased. And then from there, they could upgrade and buy a kit and get a membership, right? But it was a very low ask. I'm making it extremely simple through a system for him to get his first result, right? So that's an example of a system, the hot market approach. Anybody can plug into it. Any of you could do it today. You could go and watch that video, and I challenge you to do it, especially if you're new. Even if you're not, go watch the video, send that message to 10 people who are close to you, and say, instead of saying, hey, I just started this business, say, I'm relaunching my business, right? It's just changing the language of that text. So I'm not going to go into that because that's a 20-minute thing by itself, right? But look up that video, Matt Hall Hot Market Approach. That's a great example of a system that you can use to get anybody a result very quickly. How many people do you think are currently signed up in doTERRA on your team who would love to earn an extra $200 this month with everything that's going on in the world, right? Where they would love to earn an extra $100, $200, $300 a month. That's what. Sorry, go ahead.
Excuse me just a second, honey. Can you go back and tell me again where to find?
Oh, yeah, YouTube. If you just search Matt Hall, Hot Market Approach, that video will pop up.
At YouTube. Okay, thank you. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, good question. Another example of a system is our classes, right? So when we get somebody started, we want to make it as easy as possible for them, where the only thing that they have to do is invite, right? We know the pipes. You guys know the pipes. You prepare, you invite, you teach, or you present, then you enroll, and then you support, right? That's all we do in doTERRA. I want somebody who's brand new, I want them to only have to invite and a little bit of preparation to make their initial list, right? I want to make it as easy as possible, as systematic as possible for them to get their result, because I know if I get them a result within their first week, they're going to stick in the business for at least 3 months. If I help them get a result in their first week, I've bought myself 3 months to get them their next result, right? We know that doTERRA is not an overnight get rich quick. It takes developing yourself, right? And it takes time, it takes some patience. And but that you'll never get the person to be patient if you don't help them get a result quickly. Okay. Now, another example of a system is like we're doing virtual classes where I just barely signed up yesterday, a new person here in the United States who wants to build doTERRA with us. And I said, great, all you need to do is I'm doing a class. I did a class last night. I'm doing another class on Monday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I said, all you need to do is invite 20 people to that class. Here's what your invite is going to look like. You're going to write to your friends and you're going to say, hey, I recently got exposed. I recently started using some natural products that are transforming my family's health. Would you be open to learning more? I'm now representing this company. Would you be open to learning more? That's it. If they're going to write that invite, they're going to call their friends and extend that invite to 20, 30 people with the goal to have 10 people on the class on Monday, right? So that's very simple to do. It's a system. They don't need to learn how to present. They don't need to learn how to do all this complex stuff. They don't need to learn about the sesquiterpenes and frankincense or the chemistry of the oils. All they need to do is invite. Right? So that's an example of systems. This is how we take somebody from zero and we help them get a result very quickly. Does that make sense? So that's step one in somebody's development into a leader. Now, after that, we start to teach them skills. And that's where I love that phrase, hey, my goal for you is to help you become independent of me as quickly as possible. Do you agree that that's a good idea? I'm inviting them to take a step from systems to skills, right? And they'll say yes, they buy into that idea, and then we'll start teaching them how to teach, right? Teaching them how to teach. And we will do that through example, through classes, repeating the class. They'll be able to watch it. They can watch a recording. There's a few core skills that you need to develop in doTERRA. And I think it's amazing that we're Presidential Diamond, me and Shantae, because we're not that special. When we got started in doTERRA, guys, we were 22 years old, going to college, no influence, no money. We had to sell our plasma to pay for our LRP multiple months. Okay, we'd go in and we would max out on how much plasma we could sell to just have enough money to cover our LRP to keep going, right? But we had vision. And so ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. We didn't know what we were doing, but we just started moving. We started opening our mouths, right? And we had plateaus. We had good days, bad days. To this day, none of my best friends are involved in doTERRA. Not one. None of my friends from that time of my life are involved in doTERRA. None of them. I don't even know if any of them purchase still. Maybe there's a couple that purchase the oils every once in a while. So we just got started with what we had, right? But we had to develop our skills. And the good news is $1 million income in doTERRA is the same skills as $1,000 a month income, or $1,000 a month skills in doTERRA. They're the same skills. Like if you can get to $200, $300, $400 a month earnings in doTERRA, there's no limit to where you can go. All you need to do is learn those skills and then teach other people those skills, right? What are those skills? It's preparing. It's how to invite. It's how to present. It's how to follow up, how to close. You guys are going to learn how to close today. And then it's how to support your people, which supporting people is really just helping people use systems to get their initial success and then mentoring them, helping them be accountable. And that's all we do. Even as a leader today, mentoring, I have 4 Presidential Diamonds on my team. I have 3 Blue Diamonds on my team. When I mentor these people, guess what I do? I help them be accountable and I remind them of the basic skills, the fundamentals, right? The same 7 notes that exist on a keyboard, on a piano, right? And obviously you have sharps and flats and etc. But you can create a beautiful piece of music with 7 notes, the fundamentals, right? Some of the best pieces of music in the world, they're just 7 notes. It's just 7 notes, right? And you just repeat those things. We have 7 colors that you can paint with, and obviously you can mix those and you can match them and you can create all sorts of different colors. But masterpieces have been made with just those fundamentals, right? And so it's the same thing in doTERRA. There's nuances, obviously, to how you invite. It's a slightly different color, or it's maybe a little bit more of a sharp of the note than just the normal note. So there's these nuances, but really the skills are pretty basic, okay? So that's how we develop people into leaders, is then as they develop their skills, they increase in their belief, they increase in their commitment, they increase in their vision, their consistency, in their ability to help other people use systems, and boom, you have a leader. You have an independent leader. But most people start here. And so this is important. Why? Because sometimes when we get people started in doTERRA, we're like, hey, here's the whole compensation plan. Here's doTERRA has this essential oil specialist course you can take now. You can take this sales training, and we give them all of this stuff to do, right? We're jumping them here into this category of skills. It's too soon. It's too soon. You're overwhelming them. You're scaring them, right? A lot of times I don't even teach the person the compensation plan until after they're earning commissions, until I've helped them get a result, right? Through this hot market approach or from inviting people to my classes, right? And so keep it extremely simple for people. Help them only need to invite and master the invitation. It's not even mastering it. It's just repeating it, right? It's pretty simple. It's, are you open to learn? And then you can add whatever you want at the beginning or the end. Hey, I heard your little son, Johnny, is struggling with a respiratory issue right now. I've found some natural products that are helping me in amazing ways. Would you be open to learn? Would you be open to learn? The person says, yes, great. My friend Matt is doing a class Monday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, a virtual presentation. If I send you the link, will you watch it? If I send you the link, will you watch it? Right? And that's the invite. That's the extent of our invite. Or if you want to invite somebody to the business, it's, hey, I recently got involved in a project where I'm earning an income from home, helping people learn about natural products. Would you be open to learning more? That's it. So systems, as we help people engage in systems, we can get them a result very quickly. That keeps them engaged in doTERRA long enough to develop the skills. Skills take time to develop, right? I remember being terrified to close. Today, I have no fear of closing people, no fear. Because guess what? I'm also not attached or married to the outcome. If they don't want to buy, that's fine. I know that I can find new people and I can talk to more people. So I've detached myself from the outcome emotionally 100%. And that's another thing that you'll learn in doTERRA is if you want success, like, yes, obviously there's going to be a little bit of I'm probably to the extreme a little bit on this, but like the month that we hit Presidential Diamond, my emotional timeline went like this. Boop, boop. It wasn't like, woo! Like, we did it! It actually, I've been visualizing myself as a Presidential Diamond for 7 years. For 7 years. And so I've already believed that I'm a Presidential Diamond for 7 years. So when it actually happened, it was like, oh, great. Awesome. Like, that's fun, right? But the emotional was like this, boop. And it's also the same for the rejections. When somebody says, nope, I'm not open to learn. My heartbeat does not alter. It does not, my face does not shift. My face does not, oh, I don't pout. I just realize that they're not open at that time. Right? And so learning to manage your emotional state, independent of what external feedback is happening, the circumstance should never define your emotional state. Never, right? It's your thoughts about the circumstance that decide what the emotional state will be. And so if you think about that rejection, oh my goodness, they hate me, I'm a terrible person, they think I'm a sales, blah, 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 right? Then yes, it's gonna affect you. But if you don't let it affect your emotional state, you think, oh, okay, it's not for them, or it's not for them right now, then you can move forward. And so that's another tip I would give you is over time, and this is really hard in the beginning because like you get your first enrollment and you're like, I'm gonna be a diamond, right? It works, like it's amazing. And so but manage the highs and manage the lows, and you'll go far. That will help you be consistent as you develop into a leader. Avoid comparison in this process. Comparison is the thief of joy, right? If we had compared ourselves to anybody else that we could have compared ourselves in the beginning of doTERRA, we would not be where we are today. It took us 5 years of really consistent hard work and effort to reach diamond. I know people, I actually had somebody last month on my team who hit diamond in month 1 of doTERRA. In 1 month, he hit diamond. And it'd be really easy to look at that and be like, I am trash. Like, I am terrible at this, right? Or it would have been really easy for me to look at Haley Hobson, who reached she started after us and she reached blue diamond and I was a premier, and say, wow, this obviously isn't for me, right? Comparison is the thief of joy, and it will also steal your energy. And so don't compare yourself to anybody. There's no reason. I'll tell you, that one fact alone is probably one of the main reasons why we're here today as Presidential Diamond, because we had every reason to quit. We had every reason. Those first 10 months at Elite, working extremely hard, moving our family to Hong Kong and not moving in rank, trying to go after founders in Hong Kong. We're doing this crazy thing all in, and we had zero success with that effort, zero return from that. Most people would just quit. They'd be like, oh, this doesn't work. It's not for me. Or I'll just be a customer. Or I'll just see what happens. I'm going to step back from my activity level. And we decided to be consistent. And we decided that we were going to work doTERRA until it worked for us. We weren't doing doTERRA to see if it would work for us. See, some people, they step in and they say, okay, I'm going to give this a try. I'll do it to see if it'll work for me. If you have that mindset, I'm sorry, it's not going to work for you, because that means you're not all in, you're not committed. If you say, I'm going to do this until it works for me, you will, without a doubt, become a diamond in doTERRA. It's just a question and a matter of time. So that's my training for you guys today. I know it's pretty simple, but very, very important. Help people get plugged into systems, then teach them the skills, and then develop them into leaders. And that's how you create freedom in doTERRA. If you have 3 leaders in doTERRA at the silver rank, you're a diamond in doTERRA, and you have an amazing, amazing financial life, right? And if you keep moving forward, you can get to blue diamond and presidential diamond if you choose to. So that's my first part here. Thanks, Dawn Marie, for letting me share a little bit about skills, systems, and leadership. And I'll be back in a minute, I guess.
As always, Matt, you are crazy incredible. I mean, I cannot get enough listening to you. Really, thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking time. I mean, you know, gosh.
On my emotional scale, it did not move when you said that.
I know. Crazy boy. Anyway, we love you. We so love and appreciate you. I want you to go read while your mom's stepping up here. Go read the comments in the comment box. We've all been talking about you behind your back. So next up is Suzanne, and Suzanne is going to talk to us about the most fearful part for me, of teaching a class, which is the close. And the apple does not fall very far from the tree in terms of, right? In terms of Matt being the rock star that he is because of the rock star mom he started with, right? I know this. I know both of them really well, and I know how kind and generous with their time and their everything they have been. So Suzanne, bless your heart. Thank you so much again for being here. I'm going to be sad when we're done with this because I want so much more of you guys. So take it over.
Okay, thank you so much. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Hey, I really appreciate that. I just wanted to comment really quickly on a couple things that Dawn Marie said, and then a couple things that Matt said to me. He's Matthew. Forever call him Matthew, but in the doTERRA world, he's Matt, so I kind of refer to him that way. A couple things. When Dawn Marie was talking about excuses, it reminded me, I just heard a presentation with Natalie Goddard. She taught in the Philippines. I have a big team in the Philippines market. And when she talked about excuses, Natalie always gives in her leadership presentation, she always says you can either have results or you can have excuses. And that just always stands out to me because so many people make excuses. Oh, I'm busy doing this, or oh, I don't have time for this, or oh, I don't have an upline who's supportive of me, or oh, I don't have good leaders in my downline. I mean, there's always somebody to blame, right? And so it's so important. I was really glad that you pointed that out because making excuses is so counterproductive. And then I just loved the whole thing, Dawn Marie. I loved also the last E where it said, expect the outcome that you desire. That's so powerful with doTERRA, to expect that outcome and then work for it. And then, like she said, things just magically happen. I had a leader last month who was trying to make gold. And every day she would call me and she was really discouraged, and she would say, this isn't going to happen. You know, this person isn't doing this person isn't doing that. And I said, listen, you maintain that belief. You expect that that's going to happen, and you go to work and you will just magically see this come to fruition. It will absolutely happen. And it did happen. But if you don't expect to have the outcome, you know, then you can't have those magical miracles happen in your life. So I really, really appreciated those. And Dawn Marie, I'm so sorry that your mother told you had no artistic talent, because that's just the worst thing a mother can say to a child, even if they really don't, is to just diminish a dream or a hope that they have. So I'm sorry on your behalf for that. Then I wanted to just say a couple things about Matthew, or Matt, my son. As he said in the very beginning, he said that he always talks in big goals. This has been something that he has done since he was born, or really since he could talk. He has always had these big pipe dreams and these big goals and these big projects, and whatever he wanted to do, he thought really big. And as his mother, I would always kind of like, you know, I never told him he couldn't do something, but sometimes I would try to bring him into realism a little bit, like say, okay, how about you set a realistic goal rather than this thing that's just completely out of reach, or how about we take the steps to reach that goal? You know, he wanted to be this big famous rock star playing the guitar one time, and I was like, how about we just start with lessons? How about we get you some lessons so you can actually learn, you know, and just little things like that. But he's always been a dreamer, a little bit of an unrealistic dreamer, even with doTERRA. And I think that has served him well, because like he even said that he, in doTERRA, you know, he's always, I know what he said. With Eric War, he sets this goal to have 20 enrollments 2 times a year. And he even said, sometimes we didn't make it, you know. It's kind of like Diamond Club, you know. They've done Diamond Club several times. Sometimes they didn't go all the way, but the dream is always there.
We never went all the way.
Yeah.
We never went all 4 months.
Right, but the vision is always there. And, you know, if he walked you through his journey in doTERRA, he'll tell you, I think it was, 5 years at Platinum or something, you know, a big plateau, 4 years, whatever it was. But really, that big vision has really served him, and Shantae, she's the same way. It serves them well because they dream big and then they reach big. And just like he said, none of his friends that he originally started in doTERRA with are building, except me. I'm his friend, and I'm still here. But I wouldn't be here if he hadn't brought me into this. But I'm the same way. All the original builders that I had, they're not building anymore. I have different people, and I have somebody like, you know, Dawn Marie. She's become a dear friend. I didn't even know her. And all of you that I've met as we've come to Bellingham and Washington, I would not have even known you. So, okay, that's a little bit about that. Let's get on with talking about the close. I do have a PowerPoint that I want to share with you. And I shared this with the Bellingham team. It's a little different than what I shared with the Bellingham team. So I'm disabled from sharing. Can you switch that on for me, Dawn Marie, so that I can share my screen? We shared this with the Bellingham team, and she asked me, she said, would you do that same presentation again? And she sent me her notes because I couldn't even find it. It actually had been deleted off of my my Word.
Suzanne, I can't remember how I shared the ability for you to share.
I don't remember either, but you did.
Can you help me out?
Yesterday.
Where do I find that? Oh, wait, I think I found it. Multiple part. Okay, here we go. Try again, Suzanne.
Okay, great. Yep, there it is.
Got it? Okay, good.
Okay, so just thumbs up if you can see my screen. And I actually can see all of you, Dawn Marie. I'm gonna teach you how to be able to present and see the people at the same time.
Oh, bless your heart.
But anyway, I can at least see a few of you. But I'm gonna put this into sharing mode so that you don't have to see all my slides over here. But, oh, whoops, that wasn't the right thing. Hold on. Let me go back here. I clicked the wrong button. Okay, there we go. Now you should be able to see the whole screen. Is that what you can see there? Simplify the close. Yes, thumbs up. Okay, so I think so many times we overcomplicate the close, right? And just like Matt said, the first few times I taught a class, okay, I wasn't using the Share Success or Natural Solutions class at the time. I was using this EDGE class done by Seth Rizame and Rod Richardson. I actually used that for a couple of years. It resonated with me. It seemed more simple, less complicated than that makeover, you know, the makeover that we did in the beginning. But I literally would write my notes, what I was going to say on the class form, hand them all out their form, literally word for word what I wanted to say. And then as I was driving to the class and even before, I would be practicing the script, memorizing what I wanted to say in each point of the class. You know, even down to the close, I was like, how can I possibly say this? And I would just memorize what I was going to say. And somehow, sometimes it worked. But as you do this time and time and time and time again, you really realize that when you complicate the close, it complicates the whole thing in the minds of your audience. And so this little presentation, you know, I don't have tons of slides, but I want to go through these with you and just help you see if when you're talking to somebody and getting to that point, whether you're just one-on-one and you're getting to them where you want them to purchase or sign up or enroll, this will help you just have a few tools to help you get through that with a little less anxiety. First of all, your mindset shapes their mindset, okay? And these are 4 things that I'm going to talk about in these slides. If you have a mindset that this is really scary and you're apologetic and, oh my goodness, you don't really have to get that kit, or, oh, just, it's okay if you don't really want to do this. You know, sometimes I attended classes because I do the same thing as Matt. I teach the first class, then the second class, they teach half of it. Then by then they're on their own. I do the same thing. And every once in a while, I've heard a leader say in the close, you know, they get all done and then they say, and if you really don't want to buy anything, that's okay, you know, or they just totally diminish everything that the whole class built them up to do, right? So your mindset about just how wonderful of an opportunity this is, how beautiful and natural the products are, how much they're going to love these things, your mindset is going to rub off on their mindset. It will just create the feeling in the class. The other thing I want to talk about is it isn't a close, it's actually an opening for them, an opening to a new opportunity, whether they're a customer or a builder. I want to talk about keeping it simple and quick. These are tips that actually come from Teresa Harding. Then I want to talk about giving them options and honoring their own free agency to choose what's best for them. And then I want to talk a little bit about making this about them and not about you. So let's just go to that first one. And going to, this is not an close, it's actually an opening. Again, this is a mindset thing. If you think of this as a close, I'm going to close the deal, then it's going to be done. Those are the people who just want to close and enroll, and then they leave that person on their own, which is the biggest mistake you can make. And I know none of you do that. But for so many people, it's just all about getting the enrollment, getting the sale, and then they're on to the next sale and the next enrollment. And really, it's so much more than that. You're opening them and inviting them to improve their lifestyle. I mean, this is a lifestyle change. You're opening the opportunity for them to increase their natural health, their health naturally, instead of doing it in a way that is harmful, you know, filling their body with synthetics and chemicals. And I'm not saying some of those things aren't needed sometimes, but you're going to open that opportunity for them to take care of their bodies in a much more natural and healthy way. You're going to open the opportunity for them to gain financially through doTERRA, right? For some people, it can lead to complete financial freedom, which is where Matt is now. You know, to watch him as his mother, and I was one of his first enrollments, and to watch him go from the very beginning class that was done in our home all the way to Presidential Diamond. Of course, it's just really, I mean, okay, I could say I'm a proud mama, but really it's been an honor for me to see him, and he's taught me so many things. I've learned so many things from Dawn Marie. I've learned so many things from everyone. But as you help people realize the benefit that it can be financially, it can give them some hope. Another thing is it's an opening for you and them to be of greater service to others. And that's something that I feel the most passionate about, is that this is about giving service to others more than gaining financially or improving the lifestyle. It's about really being able to serve other people in all these ways. Okay, the second thing here is to keep it simple and quick. And this, I would really recommend you could take a picture of this little link down at the bottom, since you can't click on the slide. But take a picture of it, because Teresa Harding gives 5 important steps. And I'm going to pull up just a few little notes that I want to talk about these really quickly. So 5 important steps about these, and you can watch this. It's only 26 minutes, this little video of Teresa Harding's. Then she does tell you that you can go to a much longer explanation of the whole class, the whole entire close. But these 5 steps are really, and I actually added another one. Okay, so there's actually 6 steps here when you are doing the close. Now, a lot of times we ask them to host a class at the end, and Teresa Harding, she recommends that you do it right at the beginning of the close. So after you've already talked about the oils and the kits and the LRP order, and you're going to just talk to them about signing up, okay? She says, right then, ask them if they would like to host a class. If there's anybody here in the class that would like to host a class. And by the way, these 6 steps are only going to take 5 minutes, 5 to 7 at the very most minutes. This is your close. So first of all, ask them if anybody here would like to host a class. We would be thrilled. And if you sign up for me and set a date tonight, then I'm going to give you a free blah, 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 whatever you want to come up with that is in your stock. For those of us who have been doing doTERRA a long time, we've got a lot of free products of the month. We know where we can get really good diffusers that are super inexpensive. So maybe you're going to give them a book, a Modern Essentials book. Maybe you're going to give them a free oil. Maybe you're going to give them a diffuser. But try to get more classes from the class, right? Try to get people and encourage them to be willing to host a class. That is huge because that is going to propel your momentum, okay? The second thing is you're going to talk to them about the different ways to buy the oils, just really briefly, that they can buy them retail, but you know, that's not the smartest or the least expensive way to do it. It's better for you to get your own account so that you can get the prices for wholesale prices. And you can talk to them about, you know, you can either be a wholesale customer if you think you just want to purchase the oils, or if you think you do want to earn commissions, you can also be a wellness advocate. Both ways, you can be part of the loyalty rewards program, you know, and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to explain to them about the loyalty rewards program. We saw this on a chart yesterday. You'll see this in Matt's class. The loyalty rewards program, you're going to explain to them, you know, you start out getting 10% of what, if you, as long as you order 50 PV or more, you're going to get, you know, 10% back in that you get to spend on free product. After 3 months of being in that program and ordering 50 PV, then you get to bump up to 15%, and then 3 months later, 20, and then all the way up to 30%. So you can eventually get 55% off of the prices, 25% in wholesale pricing, your wholesale pricing, and then another 30% back in your account that you can use for free products. And I always tell people, I always say, you know, some of these expensive oils that we've talked about, whether it's frankincense, helichrysum, you know, immortelle, I save my points and I get those for free, you know. And then I always point out, if there's a month that you feel like you don't need or want to purchase 50 PV or 100 PV if you're doing commissions, but if you're doing commissions, it has to be 100. But if there's a month you feel like you can't do that 50 PV, just purchase one oil, and then you can maintain your percentage. You know, you'll stay right where you are. If you're at 20%, you stay at 20%, and you maintain the points in your account, because if you cancel that LRP, you know, then you lose that all. But again, LRP is optional, and I let people know that it is optional, but it is the smartest and least expensive way to purchase the oils. Then you're going to just mention the business. You're not going to go into anything about the business. When you watch Teresa Harding's close, she actually talks to them about the business for 2 minutes. And she talks to them about the power of 3 bonus. If I'm going to go in a little bit to the business, then I will do that. But if I'm just doing a product class, then I just tell them there is a business opportunity, and I would love to share a little bit more with you about that, you know, after this class. But you watch her video and see what works for you. Again, if I'm just doing a product class, I just mention that there is a business. I don't actually go into teaching anything about the bonuses. Then, this is to me what is really critical. You show them the Wellness Advocate Agreement, because you've already given them a class handout that they're following along on. And in the back of that is a Wellness Advocate Agreement. People make this so complicated, okay? You've already told them about the kits. You've told them about the loyalty rewards program. You've told them that they can either be a wholesale customer or a wellness advocate, or that they can purchase retail, but you don't recommend that because they can save so much more if they get their own account, and that nothing is required or, you know, mandated. But on this part, you just say, here's the Wellness Advocate Agreement. You can see the sections highlighted in, depending on the form, green or yellow or purple or whatever they are, depending, because in different countries, they're different colors as well. So I just say you can see the basic information that is highlighted on this Wellness Advocate Agreement. Just fill that out, fill out all your information, and I'm going to come around and I'm going to talk to you about which kit or products or way of enrollment is going to be best for you. So then they start going, I mean, they know they want to buy something. They're thinking, they might be thinking, okay, I just want to buy one oil. Okay, that's fine. They might be thinking, oh, I just want to buy that little intro kit, or, oh, I want to get a kit. Whatever they're thinking is fine. Just encourage them to start filling out the highlighted parts of the Wellness Advocate Agreement. And then literally I look for who I felt in that room was the, you know, if they came with a friend who already knows, I let that friend talk to them and walk them through that. But I look for the person that I feel like was pretty engaged in the class, that I kind of got the vibe that I think they really want to order some oils. And I go sit down by them, and they're filling out their form, you know, all those, their name and their address and that kind of thing. And I just talk to them about their health issues. I say, you know, was there a kit that you felt like you'd want, or what are you thinking? What are your health issues? And then they'll kind of say, well, you know, I'd really like to get something because my mother really has really severe arthritis. And so then we'll talk about the deep blue rub and the deep blue. And I can say that is in, especially with these new kits, there's one that has the deep blue rub in it. And, you know, I can just say, hey, that's, you know, it's not that expensive. I can say, this might be a great kit for you, you know, and I kind of point them in the direction of that. And if she says, well, what if I just want to get the deep blue? Then I really talk to them about, okay, how about just get the wholesale account? Because then when you want to get deep blue again, or you want to get some of these other products, you already have your wholesale account and you get wholesale prices. And they usually see that logic, right? Because I say, by the time you've purchased 3 or 4 products, you've paid for your $35 enrollment fee. That's if they're not going to get a kit. I can tell they don't want to put forth the money to get a kit. I just say, by the time you've purchased 3 or 4 oils or products, you have paid for your wholesale membership. So it really just makes sense to do that. I very rarely have somebody, in fact, maybe I can count on one hand in all the years I've been in doTERRA, when I approach it that way, that people say, oh, I really just want to buy it from you, retail. Really, if you just explain the logic to them, they will do that. Anyway, then I just go from person to person. I can see that, you know, maybe this person invited somebody over there and they're kind of discussing things, but I just check in and I just walk over and say, you know, do you have any questions? And you help them until everyone has come to a place where they feel good. Now, I want to talk about a couple of other things. And please put in the chat if you have any questions about this. We can talk about this at the end. This is really important, okay, is to give them options and to make them feel like you're not mandating something, or they don't feel beholden to you, or they don't feel guilted into buying something, but that it's really something that they feel good about. So you want to show them all of the options. Of course, you're going to show them the enrollment kits, and you're going to say, this is really, I mean, these are discounted specifically for new enrollments. They have, like, for example, this healthy habits kit, you know, this healthy start kit. It's got these 10 most commonly used oils. So you're going to have something that you can use for almost every issue that you confront. I mean, yes, we can get more specific and into more detail, but this is really a great kit, and it comes with a diffuser. Oh my goodness, the only other thing you might want to add to this would be maybe some fractionated coconut oil for dilution, but this is kind of, you know, really a great package to start with. If they feel like it's too expensive and you don't, you know, they don't want that, oh my goodness, give them another option. So I've just written here some other options. Yes, enroll with a kit, that's ideal. Another thing is to enroll with an enrollment fee, and just to get that introductory kit with the three lemon, lavender, and peppermint. I mean, that's a great way for people to start. At least they get 3 oils and they've got their wholesale account. Okay, it's a place for them to start. But as for the enrollment kits, you know, yes, it is the enrollment kits, but there's all these other kits. There's the Family Essentials kit. There's the emotional aromatherapy kit. There's the emotional aroma touch kit. And they can also do a $35 membership and get one of those. I mean, just show them all of their options, because when they see I'm not just locked into this page of these really expensive kits, oh my goodness, so many people go, I can totally do an enrollment fee and the intro kit. That's doable. That's going to be $55. I can do that. And so make sure that you give them options. Another option would be the enrollment fee, and then they just set up their LRP for next month. They can do the enrollment fee, and then you could say, and then next month you could purchase, you know, say this introductory kit, or you could purchase this deep blue rub that you really want. And oh my goodness, to get somebody enrolled and on LRP, that's huge. That's a big win, okay? So don't just think a win is if somebody enrolls with a kit. Yes, that is ideal and that is great, but give them other options. Another thing, if they just say, you know, I'm just not ready to do this, or, you know, I've got to talk to my husband about the money, you know, that's going to come up in our follow-up section that I'm going to talk to you about in a minute. But again, after you've given them all of their options, if they still say, I'm just not ready to make this commitment yet, then say, okay, that's really great. Talk to your husband about it, or, you know, think about it. And then next week, I'm going to be teaching a class specifically on emotions. You know, maybe that's kind of what she was interested in. Or I'm going to be doing a class specifically on using the essential oils for children. And so that would be really great for you to learn how to use the oils for your 3 little children, you know, your little kiddos. And whatever it is, you know, whatever it is, I'm gonna do a class that helps people with their digestion and with their sleep. So maybe invite them to come back for another class on a specific topic. And then you can also, you know, say, I'm going to send you a video, you know, give them the opportunity to learn more, to read, to educate themselves. I had a lady once, she was one of my leaders in the beginning, one of those that isn't really a leader anymore, but she still loves the oils. She does a pretty significant LRP every month, and she has about 1,000 volume under her because she's brought her closest friends and family into doTERRA. And, you know, her thing is that she always teaches people about what they're interested in, and gives a presentation on whatever they're interested in. But more importantly, just make sure that they see all the options for enrollment, and that it's not just, okay, well, you need to either buy this kit or you're out, you know. I mean, I know that we don't usually do that, but some people actually feel like it's a failure if they don't enroll somebody with a kit, and yet there are so many other options. Okay, let me go to the next slide here. Okay, I want everybody to think about this. Make sure that you're thinking about them, that you're making this about them. Like I say here, it's not about your fast start bonus. It's not about your monthly volume that you have to make. Of course, those things are always going to be in the back of your mind. We want to make our monthly volume. We want to rank. We want to get our fast start bonuses. But when you are talking to that person, make them feel like and know that you really want what is best for them, and that you're going to honor that, so that they trust you. They want to know that you're not just trying to get them in to just be another number, to just be another enrollment, but this is really about their health. This is about their interests. This is about their learning and their education, their journey, their process, okay? And you can do that, you know, very easily. And I know that you guys are like that. I mean, I talk to a lot of different people. I just, you know, Shantae shared some testimonials yesterday, which I absolutely loved. And these testimonials are about having an effective class. And you could just even snap a picture of this if you want to, because one of the things, and kind of goes along with making this about them, down here under Eve Colantoni, she said, it's the 4th one down. She said, an effective class is when attendees receive enough information and have enough of an experience with the oils to make a decision about whether or not doTERRA is right for them. We all know that doTERRA is right for everybody, but you want to really make sure that they learn and that they feel like you're listening to what's important to them. Another one, the one Elizabeth Copeland above that, She said, find out what guests need, a sort of wellness wish list, and have the class address those needs while sharing oils and experiences with humor and compassion. So that's a really great thing to do with those people who maybe aren't ready to enroll. You find out what those specific needs are, and they're going to want to come to a class to hear about those things. And then sometimes you get them in the second class. I think that the statistics are that every person has to have, like, 7 touches before they're actually going to be a doTERRA customer or user. That's really commonly said. And then also, even Roxy Saren here, it says, also always over-invite, do not leave any stone unturned. I always tell this to people. Now, her numbers are really big here. I don't quite go this big. We found that if we invite 100 people, 50 RSVP, 20 show up, and 15 purchase. And so I usually tell people, invite 30 people, and you'll have 5 or 6 that will actually show up, right? But anyway, those are just a few testimonials. I thought they were kind of interesting. Then I want to just touch base on this. Fortune is truly in the follow-up, okay? If they do enroll, then remember what I talked about yesterday. The way to keep a new enrollment is with the lifestyle overview after they've got their oils. If you actually have those oils and you go through those with them, that lifestyle overview, you talk about how they're going to use them, how they apply to their needs, that is going to be so big and so huge for them, and they will become a long-time customer. If you enroll them and say, hey, let me know when you want to sign up for LRP, or hey, let me know if I can teach you how to set up your LRP, they're not going to feel cared about. They're not going to feel nurtured. They're not going to feel guided. You want to do that lifestyle overview for every new enrollment. It's critical, okay? And then if they do not enroll again, follow up with them, come up with something that's more about what their interests are, what their needs are, and invite them again. Don't give up on them, okay? Invite again and again and again and again, okay? Super important. Just a quick thing, one more about the lifestyle overview. This same leader that I told you about, that she was one of my leaders now, she still is a leader wannabe, but she's one of those people that starts and stops and starts and stops. So the consistency isn't there, and so that's why she's never been able to be successful. I think she could still be wildly successful, and I'm very close to her. But she suffered from chronic emotional issues since the time she was 15, and she'd been on antidepressants for 40 years. And for those of you who have ever, I don't know if any of you have ever heard about the Tabernacle Choir. It's a huge choir in Utah, and every Sunday, they do music and the spoken word, and you should tune in because it's just non-denominational, beautiful, gorgeous music, and a message that is just for everyone. Like this last week, it was on Veterans and Memorial Day, and it was totally so touching. But anyway, she was a musician, super talented, wanted to be in the Tabernacle Choir, but had never felt, because of her emotional instability, that she could really audition for that choir. So one day I said to her, I said, have you ever tried using essential oils? This was at the very beginning, for your emotional health. And she said, I have a whole bunch of oils that I have purchased that people have told me to use, but they're all sitting in my cupboard and I have no idea how to use them. And she's a really smart person. And so I said, how about if I come over and bring you a book and a diffuser and we talk about that a little bit? That's all it took. So she wasn't even enrolled on my team yet. She wasn't even enrolled, but she already had some oils. And I went and I did somebody's lifestyle overview for them, with her. And so then she joined on my team. And like I said, she's a consistent $1,000 volume on my team every single month. And just to finish the story, she did audition for the Tabernacle Choir, got in. You can only be until you're 60. And she was in there for 5 years. And then she had to leave. She's no longer in there. But for 5 years, she got to realize that dream because of what those oils did for her. And so help people, empower them. It's kind of like when Matt said, I just had somebody on a class this morning. It just was really good for me to hear this. They said, hey, can you please send me the price list? And my response was, yeah, I'll send you the price list after this class. And I should have said, here, go to just Google it and you'll be able to find doTERRA price list, Google it, and you'll be able to find it. Instead, I disabled them. I didn't enable them to go find it for themselves. And so, make sure that you follow up with people and that your goal is to get them independent of you as soon as possible. Okay, so let me just say this last thing. I wanted to just touch on this really quick. We did this in the class with Bellingham. I'm probably way over time here. Really quick, these are the reasons people don't enroll. Maybe you can take just a snapshot of this. Maybe they don't have belief in the product yet. I didn't. At that first class, I was super skeptical. I didn't believe in Natalie Goddard, who was teaching the class. I had no belief in the product. I only thought this was a scam, okay? So I had no belief, okay? Sometimes people feel pressure, and under pressure, some people act and some people don't act. So they shouldn't feel pressure. They should feel like you're honoring their choice. Sometimes maybe they just don't feel a sense of urgency. That's the opposite of feeling pressure. Oh, it's okay, whenever you want to get around it. Give them a reason at your class. Hey, for anybody who enrolls at this class, we're giving you this free little mini Modern Essentials book to help you. But it's just, for those, give something that inspires them to host a class and something that inspires them to enroll from this class. You can even give it by tomorrow in case they want to go home and talk to hubby about it. Help them to feel like, hey, we do have a special promotion. We're going to give everybody who enrolls from this class by tomorrow night a free wild orange, or give them a reason to feel that urgency. Again, sometimes fixing their health is more trouble than the problem. Oh my goodness. I have encountered people with this so many times. They're just like, I'm in a routine with my medications. I'm good. It would be so much harder for me to try and learn about these natural solutions. Sometimes it's just too overwhelming for them. If that's the case, keep it simple. Get them using one thing like Deep Blue Rub, just one thing. Sometimes they have an alternative solution. They have something that they think is a better idea. Sometimes people are just indecisive. They're like, oh my goodness, or they feel overwhelmed. And so again, break it down, make it simple for them, make it really easily. Very common, especially right now, people have lost jobs, galore, not enough money. That's a very realistic situation. Again, they don't have enough money for a kit, make it easy. Enrollment fee, intro kit, that's okay. Enrollment fee, one oil that is suitable for their own issues. That's okay. If they don't have enough money, make it possible for them. And then every once in a while, you just have somebody who's just genuinely not interested. And you have to honor that as well, and then just give them the opportunity to come to another class that's more applicable to them. So that is it. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I haven't looked at any of the questions. I don't know if there have been any, but that was the end of that. And so I just want you to feel comfortable in your clothes, and the way to do that is to keep it simple and to honor everybody's choices and do what's right for them, and to make it about them is so important.
Oh, well, Suzanne, again, that was awesome and wonderful, and all kinds of things, juicy golden nuggets that I wasn't aware of. And just listening to you do that presentation reduced my anxiety about my own ability to be able to sort of duplicate those things when I'm teaching a class. I am not good at the close. My fear just comes right out of me, like, so thank you for.
And I do think sometimes that fear causes us to ramble on and on and on and on. And that's why in the beginning, I literally, Matthew saw this, he would see my page. Literally, I had it written out, and then I would literally memorize what I wanted to say. And that's what Teresa Harding tries to get you to do. She encourages you to memorize the close, so it's just natural, and you're not rambling on and on about things that you don't need to ramble on and on about, which is human nature, right?
Absolutely. So excellent segment. So Matt, you're muted again, so if you can unmute yourself so we can all hear you when your mouth moves. And we're ready for you. I'm excited about this part. I'm excited for what the people on this call are going to hear from you.
Awesome. Thanks, first of all, Mom, for the awesome closing tips. That's an example of a very important skill, right? So you guys are already in phase 2 some of you are already in phase 3. You're already leaders. You're independent. You're doing your thing. You're rocking. But at the very least, you're in this stage 2 of increasing in your skills. So I just wanted to take our last few minutes here today and talk about the doTERRA opportunity in general right now, and then I want to go through some compensation plan things specifically that I think will help you strategically as you're building your business. So first of all, I want you all to know that never before, at least in the time that I've been in doTERRA, which has been almost 8 years, coming up here in June. Never before have I seen more people open to the message that we have, right? The 3 things, I talked a little bit about this yesterday, the 3 things that people are looking for in this moment more than ever are solutions for health, for increasing their immune system, supporting their respiratory system, and just having overall a more healthy lifestyle with natural products. 2, they're looking for a way to create an additional stream of revenue and income from home. Be that $200, be that $500, or maybe, the millions of people who have lost their jobs, they're looking to replace their income, right? And 3, the third thing that people are craving more than ever right now is community. And doTERRA really responds all 3 of these needs. Virtual hug, Valerie, virtual hug. And we're seeing this in the numbers. So on our team, as an example, and I'm going to open up some numbers of ours, not to, again, this isn't for you to compare. Anytime we use numbers or growth or things like that, this is for you to create, it's for you to feel inspired, for you to understand what's possible. And so in a typical month over the last year, our team has about 4,000 new people that join our team per month, okay? Now, the month of March was a record month for our team. Right? The month of April, we went from over 4,000 to over 8,750 people that joined our team, our family, from one month to the next. Now, what does that tell you? And again, it's kind of shocking, right? Like it's blown away, right? That all of you are going to experience that kind of growth as you continue moving forward in your business and you're consistent. It compounds and it's multiplication, right? So it ends up getting really big. But even I have never had a month where we've more than doubled our number of enrollments since my first year in doTERRA. Yeah, that was the last time when we had a month that doubled the number of new people who were joining our team. Now, what is causing that? What is causing this mass entry of people who are looking for what it is that we have to offer? It's this global issue, right? It's this global environment, this situation. And so I share that with you just because I want to wake you up. I want you to be very awake to the situation right now, and that there are so many people who are looking for these 3 things that we have to offer, right? Natural products for health, a way to earn an income from home, and community, right? So if I've been telling people, if you can't have success right now in doTERRA, then you probably never can. Like this is the time more than ever that if you're just courageous, if you open your mouth, you're going to have results. Now, the problem is most people do just enough to get frustrated. And what I mean by that is, like, most people, they're going to talk to, 10 people. And of those 10 people, maybe one of them will be a customer, and they're like, oh, that wasn't worth it. Financially, that wasn't worth it for me, right? They do just enough to get a result, but to get frustrated, right? In doTERRA, a lot of what we do is, like I mentioned in the beginning, putting in a lot of effort, especially at the beginning or in time periods in your journey where you sprint. And I just want you to know that right now is one of those times where if I were you, I'd be sprinting. Because if you sprint right now, you're going to have a higher percentage of people open to what it is that you have to offer from the product and the financial perspective than ever before. Okay, so I just wanted to start with that because people are open. And honestly, even referrals, like I always ask for referrals. Oh, okay, it's not for you. Great. Do you know anybody who's looking to earn an income from home right now? Or great, it's not for you. That's okay. Do you know anybody who would be open to using natural products right now? And honestly, I use that, and typically I never get referrals. Like, it's very rare that I actually get referrals when I ask that question. Right now, I'm actually getting referrals. I'm actually getting referrals because they know people who just lost a job, or they know somebody who was complaining about finances openly recently. They know somebody who's struggling with a health issue right now, or respiratory issue right now. And so I'm actually getting referrals right now, whereas typically I don't get very many referrals, right? And so that's just another little side note I want to add in there. Now, I want to share my screen. And just to prove to you guys that we're in quarantine, I hired my kids to, yell and make lots of noise behind us. So I hope you can hear their beautiful voices as they eat their lunch. Let me share my screen here, and just really briefly, I want to talk a couple things about the compensation plan. I want to share a couple principles for you. Each bonus in doTERRA's compensation plan, and because we're limited on time, I'm not going to go through the entire compensation plan, but I want to teach you an important concept, and that is that doTERRA's compensation plan is really perfect. And it was created to drive behavior, right? A compensation structure is designed to create behavior. As an example, the Fast Start bonus is really designed to create the behavior of you opening your mouth and talking to new people about our products and getting people signed up with a kit. Right? And as you do that, you get a high percentage of commission coming back to you, 20%. Now, it also, from the very beginning, it also incentivizes you to teach other people to teach. So you help other people have a result, and you can get 10% of everything that they sign up, right? And then 5% on that third level. Most of you are familiar with how this bonus works. But this bonus drives the behavior of bringing new people into doTERRA, okay? Keep that in your mind, and I'm going to give you some examples here in a minute. Now, the Power of 3 bonus is designed, 1, to incentivize you to find business partners, and 2, to structure them in the correct way. And as you do that, you can earn $50 a month, you can earn $250 a month, or you can earn $1,500 a month. Once again, never before has there been a better time for you to ask the question, hey, I'm involved in a home-based business where I'm earning an income from home, teaching people about natural products to help with their health. It's exploding right now. Would you be open to learn more? Right? Now's a great time to ask that question. Find your business builders and put them in this structure, and you'll get rewarded through the Power of 3 bonus. So that's the behavior that this bonus is meant to drive. Okay. The behavior that the unilevel bonus is meant to drive is retention strategies. So it's meant to encourage you to be doing your wellness consults, to be helping people, get with more product education like yesterday and etc. Because you earn a small percentage on everything that your team buys for the rest of their lives, right? You bring value to doTERRA, and they will pay you for that value for the rest of your life. If you bring value, they will honor that value forever, right? This bonus is also, this one together with the leadership bonus, this rewards the creation of leaders, right? So you get into the leadership bonuses, Premier, Silver, Gold, Platinum, etc. Once you're helping other people become leaders in doTERRA, they're independent people. And as you build up leaders, you're incentivized to do that through this leadership pool, where you can earn anywhere from $200 all the way up to $30,000 a month from this leadership pool, right? And I love these pools because, listen, doTERRA has been around for 12 years. I don't know how long everyone here on the call has been in doTERRA, but you can earn a percentage of the global sales and it's not profit. This is their global sales, and you can earn a percentage of that on a monthly basis from this huge number, that doTERRA is producing every single month. Even if you just have a little volume as a Premier, a Silver, you can earn a chunk of this massive revenue that people I've been working to create for 8 years almost, right? And so just be aware of the power of that, okay? Now, I want to teach you some concepts. If you want to learn details on the compensation plan, how it works, I have a great video on YouTube. Just type in Matt Hall, doTERRA compensation plan, and you'll see a walkthrough of the compensation plan step by step. But the next thing I want to share with you here is I want to just kind of create a vision for you for what's possible in your future, okay? And I want to do this by showing in total transparency our doTERRA earnings, both weekly and monthly from the very beginning of when we got started, okay? This is our weekly fast start bonus from week 1 all the way up until when we hit Presidential Diamond. And I need to update it for the last couple months. But there's some lessons I want to share with you from this. And then this right here is our monthly income from doTERRA from month 1 all the way through 7 years and 7 months, which is when we hit Presidential Diamond for the first time, okay? A couple lessons I want to teach you. First of all, let's see, can I draw? I can draw, beautiful. These first 10 months right here, Shantae and I were working extremely hard. And this represents our monthly, this is your residual income. You have 2 types of income in doTERRA, your residual income and you have your bonus income. Your bonus income is your fast start income, right? And it's primarily based off your personal production. Your residual income is based on people ordering the product on a consistent basis, being on the LRP, and also your leadership bonus, right? So we were here, for those of you who know our story, we sat at Elite for 10 months. And we were pushing, we were working as hard as we could to try to get to Premier. We were working very, very hard. And still it took us almost a year to get to Premier, okay? Or in other words, we are definitely not the fastest people to grow in doTERRA, okay? But we committed to our upline that we would maintain our activity level high and we would maintain our motivation, our enthusiasm high. That there wouldn't be these ups and downs, right? With our level of activity. And so we stayed consistent. And my mom always says consistency is key. So I just obey and I go. And I just keep going, okay? Now, a couple more lessons I want to share with you. You can see here, then we broke through, and this is actually when we hit gold, silver, gold, and platinum. And then I know these look really small but this actually represents thousands of dollars a month, okay? These small little bars down here. So it seems small, but these are big numbers. Now, you'll see this drop right here by basically half. So our income 1 month to the next dropped in half. And I remember like my emotional state went in the tank. Like I was like, doTERRA doesn't work. It's not gonna work. Our income dropped in half. People are going to quit. doTERRA is probably going to close their doors and stop selling essential oils. Like this is the end of doTERRA, right? Or at least it's the end of my experience in doTERRA. And but then my upline said, hey, keep your emotions high, keep your activity in progress, and you're going to keep growing. And lo and behold, the next month, guess what? Then we had our next couple records in months. And then you can see over a 6 month or 7 month period, we dropped down again in half in some months before we hit that point again. In other words, there will be ups and downs with your residual income as you build this business, but maintain your activity consistent. Maintain your activity consistent because you will never have a breakthrough unless you're consistent. Now, this period right here is the period that we sat at platinum for 4 years, okay? And you can see that even though we, in a lot of these months, we actually dipped down to gold, sometimes even silver, which is a lesson in and of itself. There will be ups and downs, even over the long term. Still, this residual income, pretty much like it had some growth, right? Like you can see it still got bigger and bigger, even though we were dropping in rank or you know, we were maintaining the same rank. And that is just an attribute to the power in doTERRA's products, right? Because people continue to buy, they continue to buy and come back for more and more. Now, you'll see here, right here, this is the first month that we hit diamond, okay? After 5 years in doTERRA, we hit diamond. And then you can see, lo and behold, we dropped down. In 4 months, we did not requalify as diamond. That's okay. So if you push and you hit a new rank and then you don't requalify for months or even a couple of years, don't worry, keep going, keep moving. And guess what? We hit diamond again. Then we started to hit diamond consistently. This is the first month we hit blue diamond right here. Okay, this jump in income. Then we didn't requalify for 2 months. Then we hit it again. Then we didn't requalify, and then we hit it again, and it maintained consistent. Now you see this massive growth right here. This is called exponential growth, right? And even though month to month it didn't feel like it, when I look over 7.5 years, we only grew. We only grew. Now there were ups and downs and years of plateaus and lots of volatility, but when you look over the macro, it's just growth. And so I want you to realize that this is what your doTERRA's journey can look like if you maintain consistency. Okay. Now let me go really quick to our weekly earnings, because I want to teach you a couple lessons with our weekly earnings. Now here, there's going to be more volatility because this is based on your personal production, right? Fast Start bonus is mainly your personal enrollments and the personal enrollments made by the people who you have brought in to doTERRA, right? So you can see during these initial years, our fast starts, first of all, right here is when we decided to quit our jobs. Within like a month or two. And it was okay because Shantae and I were college students. We didn't have a big expenses. And so once we were making hundreds of dollars a week, over $1,000 a month, we were like, wow, we can do this. And that happened relatively quickly. And then you can see the next weeks dropped down to almost nothing. And we were like, what is going on? This is supposed to grow. We shouldn't have quit our jobs, so quickly. And so realize that bonus income is different than residual income, right? Base your financial decisions on residual income, not bonus income, okay? Most of you guys aren't going to make that mistake. But then you can see there are ups and downs, and there's peaks and valleys. This right here, these were the years that we spent stagnant at platinum. Well, now what do you notice about our fast start earnings? They are much, much lower than the years before. In other words, this is the phase where I like to call this our manager mode phase years in doTERRA. And I want to encourage you to not enter into this phase. What did we start doing during these years? Well, we had a team that was growing. We had a good sized team that was growing. And so our personal enrollments dropped. We started helping other people with their classes. We started doing lots of trainings for our team. We started doing lots of mentoring, but our personal production stopped. Okay, or at least it slowed quite a bit, and we thought that made sense because we had signed up a lot of people in doTERRA, and we had done our part. Right now, it's just about helping our people have success. Wrong. That's why we stayed plateaued. We did not see growth again in our rank until about here. Okay. Which is after our fast starts started to grow again. And I'll tell you guys, one of the best things you can do for your existing team is go and build a new one, right? Because what happened during this manager phase is our team leaders, they saw us doing lots of trainings, doing lots of mentoring, and teaching classes for other people. And so what did they start doing? They started doing lots of trainings, doing classes for other people, and doing lots of mentoring. And then their leaders, what did they start doing? They looked at their upline and they said, oh, I need to do lots of trainings. I need to do lots of mentoring, and I need to help other people with their classes. But their personal production slowed. And that's one of the reasons why we stayed in this plateau for so long. And so I warn you to not be in manager mode. Now, at some point, I got mad. I said, I am sick of platinum. I'm sick of gold. I came into doTERRA with the goal of being diamond in a year. We're 4 years in, and we're nowhere close. And so I decided I had to build a new team. I had to increase our personal production. Both me and Shantae decided this. And so we started to enroll a lot more people. Our fast start earnings rise. And then we hit diamond. Okay, and we hit diamond. I can't remember if this is where we hit diamond or this is diamond. Maybe this is probably blue diamond. This is probably, or no, diamond's probably over here. I don't know. But the growth in our residual earnings only came back in a exponential way when our personal production increased. Okay, and so if you feel stuck, if you feel like you're not growing, the answer is not in the team that you have right now. It's in the team you're going to build. That doesn't mean that you abandon the team you have right now by any means. Obviously, you're going to continue to help them grow and have success, but exponential growth in your doTERRA business happens through your personal production. So I hope that's helpful for you to see. You know, I wanted to just, I'm a big fan of transparency, because what I wanted more than anything when I got started in doTERRA was to see into the back office of somebody who was already successful in doTERRA and kind of see what the journey looked like. Like, what could I expect? And I'm not by any means promising this success of Presidential Diamond, but even if your goal is elite, or your goal is silver, or your goal is diamond, like the principles are the same. The principles are the same. Okay. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you guys here, is a little bit of a vision for what's possible. I want you to understand that never before has there been greater openness and interest for what it is that we have to offer with doTERRA. And so be courageous, open your mouth, maybe decide that this next month is the month that you're going to do a sprint. And if your norm is to sign up one person every 2 months into doTERRA, then maybe you set a goal to sign up 5 people this next month, and to work really hard and make that happen. And when you because of multiplication, when you compress those time frames, if you do double the work next month than you would normally do, you're not just doubling the rate of growth that you're going to have, you're 10xing it, because of the multiplication effect that doTERRA has. Does that make sense? So those are the lessons I wanted to share with you. Remember the behaviors. Go and look. You can open up in your back office the whole history of your fast start earnings. And if you see a big spike at the beginning and then it's been low since then, I'd encourage you to think, what can I do to spike my fast start earnings, to increase my personal production and the personal production of the people that I've personally signed up in doTERRA? And that will be what will help you rank advance and get to the residual earnings that you want and frankly you deserve as you build your doTERRA business. doTERRA is very, you get what you deserve. You get what you deserve. You get the value back that you've created for doTERRA. And so, but the skills, remember, like there's not a secret. I don't have some kind of secret formula that I do in doTERRA that you don't do, right? I plug people into simple systems, into the classes that I teach. I help them maybe with the hot market approach, which some of you will learn here today when you watch that video. I help teach them basic skills, and I invite them to step into a place of leadership. And if you do that over and over and over and over and over, you will be a presidential diamond. I have no doubt that Shantae and I will be a double presidential diamond, a triple presidential diamond, a quadruple presidential diamond. Mom, yes, I set big goals, but guess what? We have time. And so have patience with yourself as well. This is a journey. This is a journey. And if you just keep moving forward with consistency, I promise you'll reach the goals that you have.
Thank you, Matt. I have a question about all of what you just said regarding the comp plan. Do you have somewhere online we can go to? Because I was hoping to hear a little bit more about the deeper levels of the comp plan and how it compresses itself to maximize the residual income.
Yes.
Can you say anything about that, like 5 minutes, and
Absolutely.
say something about that, or show us a chart or something?
I'll give you some advanced compensation plan concepts to get excited about.
Excellent.
And but with that, I want you to remember that there are essential oil experts on my team that are poor. They don't make any money from doTERRA. There are compensation plan experts on my team in doTERRA that are poor. They don't make any money. So knowledge is not the secret. I will give you more knowledge because it's fun to learn, right? It's good to develop ourselves. But remember that it's the activities that are going to get you to the income. Okay. But yeah, let's have some fun. Let me open up here a couple.
Let me just say, we're a little over our time. So if anybody wants to leave, please feel free. Don't feel like you're being rude by leaving, but it's just such an opportunity to have him here. I really want to suck everything out of him we can get.
Sure. Let me just pull up a PDF here. Okay. doTERRA is extraordinarily generous, my friends. The generosity and really the wisdom in the compensation plan is incredible. So this is another way to look at the comp plan if you want to get more details. This is doTERRA's like version, and I guess I've pulled up Australia's version. That's okay, it's the same. But the only things that I feel like most people don't know that aren't, you know, clear, because the compensation plan is pretty clear, right? We know how to get retail profit. We know how to earn the fast start bonus. If you sign up somebody, you get 20%. If that person you signed up signs up somebody else, you get 10%. If that person signs up somebody else, you get 5%. The power of 3 bonus, you have 3 people doing an LRP of over 100 and you have 600 in volume between you and your first level, and you get that $50 bonus every single month. You help them repeat the same process and you earn $250, and then you help those 9 do the same thing and you get $1,500. So that's pretty simple. Where some people get tripped up is is with like dynamic compression and extra shares of leadership earnings. And so again, this is not something that you have to know, but it's kind of fun to know. And it's especially once you get to Diamond, there are some strategies that you can use to really increase your earnings in a big way. Like I'd say the two main ranks that you should be very excited to get to. One is silver, and then the next is diamond. Okay, really elite, and then silver, and then diamond. That's like, these are breakthrough ranks. Where elite, if you can reach elite, you can get to silver because you just need to help 3 people do what you did. If you can get to silver, all you need to do is help 4 people do what you did, and you'll get to diamond. And I'll tell you why those are key ranks. First of all, dynamic compression is expressed right here, and it shows that depending on the level that you're at in doTERRA, your unilevel earnings, you'll earn down a certain number of levels. So an elite, for example, in doTERRA, will earn on 5 levels of unilevel, right? So they'll earn 2% on their first level, 3, 5, 5, 6. Now, if you have people, for example, if you have a director on your team as an elite, and they have people that are down on their 4th or 5th or 6th level, that director will not earn those unilevel commissions. They will roll up to the next person qualified to earn in that depth. And so, for example, an elite can earn on 7 or on 5 levels. This is why silver is so powerful, because once you reach silver, you unlock all 7 levels of unilevel and every level of dynamic compression. And so a silver in doTERRA, let's say they have an elite on their team who has people down on their 7th level right here, right? That elite is not going to earn anything from this order, okay? That order is going to actually roll up and be paid out to the silver, okay? So that's how dynamic compression works. When you look at the compensation plan here, you can see that doTERRA pays certain levels to certain ranks. And this is why you want to get to elite and silver as fast as you can. Now, the truth is, most elites, they don't have people down past their 6th level or 7th level. And so it's not like doTERRA is causing people to miss out on earnings. But what happens sometimes is like, there's an elite above my mom that's placed above my mom that has, thousands of people on her team, and she's an elite. But she's never built other leadership, other people into leadership, and so it's totally valid and just that she only earns on 5 levels, right? And so, but those levels below her that she doesn't get paid on, her 6th and 7th level, that gets paid to me and my wife, right? Because we do qualify to earn on all 7 levels. Does that make sense? And so that's dynamic compression. And basically what you need to know is that you get paid on the true number of levels that you're qualified to get paid on. So another example that's important to note is like as a let's say you're an elite in doTERRA, and you do have people down to your 7th level down here. Okay, there's people here, but maybe 2 of these people are not ordering. doTERRA will pay you on a true 5 levels. So they'll actually pull down into your sixth level and your seventh level, and they'll pay you on those orders, even though technically you're not qualified to earn. And that's what dynamic compression is, right? So if there's people in the middle that aren't ordering, you can get paid on those full on those levels. Okay, and if you go into your back office and look at the breakdown of your commissions, you can see every single person, how much you ordered off of each order that was made on your team. You can see what level they're on your team, and then what paid level they were on your team. And that paid level means, if there were people who weren't ordering in the middle, that they'll get pushed up and you'll earn on them as well. So actually, my wife and I, we earn on some people that are down on our 20th level or deeper because of dynamic compression. So it's incredibly, it's really, really generous. doTERRA could just keep that money, right? And say, you didn't qualify. This person is beyond your 7 levels. But no, they take into account a true 7 levels and they pay it all out. So every single order, there is always somebody who's getting paid 7%. There's always somebody who's getting paid 6%. There's always somebody getting paid 6, 5, 3, and 2%. That is always being paid out through the unit level. There's no breakage, which is what we consider in a compensation plan to be money that the company can promise they pay, but they don't really pay. That's called breakage. doTERRA their unit level doesn't have any breakage, right? Okay, and then the next thing I'll just point out, which is kind of an advanced aspect of the compensation plan, is the leadership pools and the extra shares that you can earn. And so if you're a silver in doTERRA, another exciting reason for you to get to silver or above is you get access to this leadership pool, which is about $150 a month, this bonus right here. You're also getting the empowerment bonus, which is typically about $200 per month as a silver. But you see this +1? This right here means that for every new elite that you create, the first month that they hit elite, you get an extra share. So you get an extra $150. So for example, sometimes there are people on my team that hit silver in their first month. They work extremely hard, and all 3 of their elites are hitting elite for the first time when they go silver. So they actually get 4 shares of this leadership bonus. So they would earn $600 from this leadership pool and $200 from the empowerment bonus. So $800 in leadership pools. Okay. And that's the same for golds and platinums. For every new elite that they create, they get an extra $150 the first month that person goes elite. Okay. Now it gets really fun, and I'm going to set your vision far because I know a lot of you guys want to become diamond. Now look at how fun it becomes at diamond. Once you hit a diamond, a lot of people, they decide to retire in doTERRA. There's a lot of doTERRA diamonds who they're happy once they get there, and that's totally fine. You're totally welcome to retire wherever you want in this journey. That's why it's we're leading an army of volunteers, right? But there are some incentives as you get into the bigger ranks for you not to retire. And so I'll just share with you the diamond one. For every new premier that you create as a diamond, so if my wife and I, if we're hitting diamond this month and we create a new premier, the first time that they hit premier, doTERRA actually pays us an additional $2,000, okay, that month for every premier. So if you create 2 new premiers or 3 new premiers, you can get $4,000, $6,000, right? It ends up being a really significant thing. And it just gets bigger. So blue diamond, to encourage a blue diamond to not just retire and sit on their laurels, they pay them another share of the typical blue diamond pools when they have a new premier. That ends up being about $4,000 for helping somebody hit the rank of premier. Okay, this is someone that you're personally the enroller of. I'll make that clear. And then for presidential diamond, it's based on silvers. And for every new silver that you create as a presidential diamond, you earn an additional $10,000 that month. Okay, just the first time that they hit. It's actually between 7,000 and 10,000. It's based on the global revenue of doTERRA. But that should get you excited to get to diamond as fast as you can, because then you're really incentivized financially to build what? Leadership. And you see how all of the bonuses that doTERRA offers, they really drive a behavior. It drives a behavior, and it's a good behavior. And so from the fast start bonus for you bringing in new people, all the way to the power of 3, to the unilevel, to the leadership pools, and then these extra shares that you can earn, they all drive this behavior of helping new people become independent in using their products, and then become independent in helping other people get exposed to the products and building leadership. So what I would do if I were you, summation of all of the kind of these extra things that I would share with you is: 1, set the goal to reach silver as fast as you possibly can to unlock all of your unilevel potential and all of your dynamic compression potential. Okay. The next thing would be aware of these extra shares, because if you know that you, as a silver, when you create a new elite, you earn an extra $150, guess what? I don't keep any of that for myself. I pour it into my people. So if I know that I'm going to have a new elite and I'm a silver and I'm going to get an extra $150, I'll pass that forward to the elite, or I'll create some kind of promotion for their team. Hey, those of you who order, in the next 3 days, we're going to give you a free oil, right? So to help tip that person from executive over to elite, I might offer some kind of promotions. doTERRA is going to be paying for those promotions through that extra share. Right? And so there become all sorts of strategies that you can use to help that happen. So Dawn Marie, does that fulfill your desire for a little bit of a taste of some more advanced and honestly, as you get into these higher ranks, then you'll get further training through doTERRA's leadership groups on Facebook, through the Diamond Day, for example, of leadership, where there's all sorts of fun strategies that we can talk about that become valid once you reach these leadership levels.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. That's
So
exactly.
set your sights high, my friends. It's worth it. It's worth it.
Set them high. All right, so I am aware of the time and how much time we've gone over, and I thank my speakers from the bottom of my heart. We have lots of raffle prizes, and here's what I want to say to you. Because of the number of people on the call and the number of raffle prizes we have, everybody wins! Yay!
Wonderful. Dawn Marie, I'm going to apologize. I'm going to have to hop off to get on another Zoom call, but thank you so much. I just want to, before I hop off, I just want to honor you and thank you for this community.
Oh, unmute yourself, everybody. Unmute yourself so you can say something to Matt before he goes, because you're all muted yourself.
Serving these people, it's just beautiful. It's incredible, and I can't wait to do it again. So thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you, Marie. I'm going to have to go as well. Okay, we're half hour over, and I've got another commitment as well. So
thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm going to see many of you next week again. So anyway.
Blessings on your way, man.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Say hello to Shantae. Big hugs.
Will do. Absolutely. Love you.
All right.
Bye.
All right. So Ken is beginning to pick raffle tickets here, but I want to show you guys something. Remember that candle that I lit?